what's up, everyone? We are going to have a reality chat, and this is going to be about Porsha Family Matters. I didn't have any plans on watching this show, but it was on, and I decided as I was doing some work, I just decided to tune in and see what it was all about, because I kept hearing the buzz about the previews that I had not seen. And so I said, you know what, maybe I'll just check it out and multitask. So I had it on as I was doing some work and I watched it. And honestly, watching it, I already had my thoughts about Porsha and this engagement to Simon Guobadia anyway, because of how things looked. And I still feel the same way that I felt. I'm not on anyone's side. I'm not on Porsha's side. I'm not on Simon's ex-wife's side, Fallon's. I don't know any of these people, obviously. So I don't have a dog or a bird in the fight. It doesn't matter to me. I just see what I see, and I have my opinions on what I do see, just like most people do. And so a lot of people are saying that Porsha just 100% sealed the deal on how they really felt about her based on what she shared in the first episode about the timeline with how she and Simon got together. First of all, thirsty. She says that she DM'd him when she heard that he had filed for divorce. 100% tacky. I know she claimed that she and Fallon were not friends, but you weren't friends with Simon either, right? So for you to send him an inbox message to say you wanted to check on him and make sure he was okay, because I've gone through a divorce before and I know how that feels. You being a woman, shouldn't you message the woman that invited you over to her house when you were thirst trapping and he was sitting there watching you all in the pool? Like, you were invited by Fallon to the house, not Simon. But obviously, from what we can see, she and Simon already had some stuff going on. That was not their first rodeo. And so she says that she DM'd him, and that's kind of how they just started conversing. And 2 weeks after, the timeline is just horrible. It doesn't clear things up from the post that she put on social media earlier this year about she and him being engaged after dating for 30 days. Okay. And here's how we know she's lying, because anyone who knows that they didn't do anything wrong, they don't feel the urge or the need to go out into the world and try to prove it by giving dates and timelines. You don't have to do that, because you don't know any of us. You claim what we say or think doesn't matter. So you don't have to go out here and give a timeline of when you met, how you met, how you started conversing, when you actually started dating, when you first had intercourse, when you first, like, it's so we already know that you're lying. Just say, you know what, look, he was there, I wanted some of that, we started conversing, he wanted me, and look, we're together, and that it just is what it is. That's how most people probably would have responded if they didn't feel the need to try to give people some sort of timeline or explicit explanation as to what they're saying the truth is, because his story and her story, they didn't add up, they didn't match at all. You had Dennis asking her questions, her baby's daddy, now ex-fiance, because they were engaged, and then you had her cousin that was asking questions. You had her sister Lauren trying to answer the questions to Dennis, and Lauren, she kind of already knows too, and she knows her sister, and she's just like, I feel that even Lauren, even though she's the younger sister, she has the more level head than Porsha does. But she, like most siblings, not all, but like most siblings, they're going to stand up for their sibling no matter what, even if they can't defend it, and they're not even going to really try to defend it. So all Lauren could really say to the questions that Dennis had for her was like, well, but she has her own money. But really, that's not like an explanation. But here's the thing. Some people are saying that Simon doesn't have any money. He's not as wealthy as a lot of people say he is, or he says that he is. I don't know. I don't really even care at this point, because sometimes I wonder if they're even going to really get married. Are they just milking this for the views and the money and the comeuppance and all of that stuff? It could be. So you wonder, like, is Porsha getting played or playing the game? And I'll be honest, after watching this episode, I feel that she's playing the game. She could be getting played by Simon too, because I do feel that Simon loves the attention. I do feel that he really loves the attention. But I do believe that Porsha is playing this game, because check it out. All of this stuff unfolded with her and this relationship on social media. And then Fallon had an interview, and she had several interviews actually online with some different outlets, and she shared her side and the story and whatever. And then we found out that Fallon was pregnant. She just recently had a baby and is engaged to the father of the child, who's the guy that Simon was accusing Fallon of cheating on him with. And you know, she said she didn't cheat on him. I don't know. Sometimes I feel that their marriage was not maybe even the realest in the end. I'm not going to go into all those details right now either, just based on things that I've seen since then. But at any rate, her getting this spinoff, I feel, is her playing the game. Because listen, she hemmed and hawed and played around with whether she was coming back to the Atlanta Housewives. She was asked several times. She wasn't given any answers about it. And then she quit her gig on Dish Nation. And then finally she came out and announced that she would not be returning to the Housewives of Atlanta, and that she had something, you know, some other ventures. And then we learned that she had a spinoff and a new book that's been released. So what's the smartest thing to do with all of the things that came out with her being in this relationship with an already married man, and then being engaged to somebody who's married, not just dating someone who's married, but engaged to someone who's married, who you came onto the Housewives of Atlanta with that man's wife at the time, proclaiming that you were friends, even though we know that storylines are made up on these housewives shows, and you may not have actually been friends. But the fact of the matter is, it showcased that way. And whether you were friends in real life or for play, like they used to say when we were little kids, you getting with this man is horrible, especially in the way that you did it. So do you go back onto the Real Housewives of Atlanta and this be your storyline, continuously defending the relationship, how you got into it, why you got into it, against Kenya, who can't stand your ass, with Candy, who is questionable whether she has really forgiven you or not, and any of the other women. And this just a continual thing throughout the season, which, to be honest with you, a lot of us would probably get tired of anyway if that was all the Housewives of Atlanta was going to be about. Or do you get your own show and talk about it in what would be perceived as a safer space, and get more money and get more exposure for your dude, for your family, and you know, all the other people that are connected with you, where they wouldn't really get that type of shine if you were back on the Real Housewives of Atlanta that way. So when you break it down that way, I feel that Porsha, she's playing the game. And even though I don't agree with her lifestyle and choices, I don't have to, and she doesn't have to care. She can do whatever she wants to do. She's a grown woman, definitely. I can't say that I blame her. Would I want to be on a show where women are just going to be constantly berating me and questioning me about my relationship, whether it was right or wrong? Or do I do it in a place that I feel is a safer space, even though people are still going to be coming at me on social media, even though viewers are still going to, ask me a bunch of crazy questions or whatever? Do I do it on my own platform, or do I do it on a platform and space where I'm sharing it with other women, and the time that I'm going to get exposure is limited because of how many other housewives there are versus how much time I could get spending it on my own show? Porsha doesn't do the best when it comes to being honest and truthful and spelling things out. You can tell when she's not. And that's one of the things that I loved about Porsha and I hated about Porsha, because when she said that there were 265 days a year, she meant that, okay? She was not lying. She was wrong, but she was not lying. She really definitely believed to her heart of hearts that there were 265 days in a year. But when it comes to these timelines, like, those things are a little bit shaky. It's a little different. I just believe that she's playing the game, and she's doing it because it's like, hey, if Bravo's offering it to her, who would she be to pass up the opportunity? And look, if the relationship doesn't work out and the Housewives of Atlanta is still a running show, they would more likely be happy to have her back, more than likely to have her back, than, you know, her just not having any more space on Bravo anymore, because they really do love Porsha over there. That's why they're giving her a spinoff. She got a spinoff when she was having the baby with Dennis, and that was another crap show as well. But I would love to know what you guys think about this. Do you think Porsha's getting played by Simon, or is she just playing the game overall? I believe, again, I'll say she's playing the game. I believe Simon's playing it too, and probably playing her. So I think it could be a little bit of both, but I believe she knows what she's doing, even though she does not know a lot. She knows what she's doing in this situation.